Yo, welcome back everybody. Today we have gameplay from Galakrond, who feels like basically cheating in the Mims Clockwork Stadium anomaly. We're just kind of doing fun stuff right now, trying to find a balance between if every game is scammy and every game is pretty much just the same compositions winding up at the end of the game, then how do we get some kind of fun, some kind of high rolls, hedge toward stats, hedge toward doing something crazy? Because most of the time, you're going to run into scam and you've got to pivot down to it. But sometimes, you can find yourself a nice little high roll in the process. All right, enjoy. Mech, Murloc, Naga, Pirate. It's wonderful. Mims Stadium. Galakrond, fuck it. We're going in. Why play the game and wait to level when we can just be Galakrond instead? A mediocre fort. Yeah, the fort got us a little bit of value. Take that back right now. Give me a second. I gotta take care of my dog. Jesus. What is happening over here, girl? Making a lot of noise. New mic definitely blocks the dog sounds. Should. It's perfect. Has one job. Honestly, the stream is better when Bofur takes care of dogs instead of chat. Facts. Honestly, facts. If only Em would come back to the stream. She's too scared, though. She's in her fear stage of the new place. One day she'll be back to around here. We went to the dog park today. She and Lee got to run around in circles, and Em tries to hoard the toys. She brings them back and tries to keep them in a spot, and then somebody steals them and she chases down the toy and brings it back. That's my girl. She goes to the dog park to claim other people's toys. Meanwhile, Lee is just the most social animal in the world. Yep, that guy right there. That gentleman. Yes, I know. 9 years old and going strong. He's a good boy. He's been to a million parks. He understands how you're supposed to treat other dogs. I see a duo. We level to 3 next turn. We got Mech, Murloc, Naga, Pirate, and Undead. Oh, that was the Tethys game, was the first one we did. That's right. Tethys and Fort. That's what we ended up doing. It wasn't Murghul that game. I see Bran. I want to play Bran. You know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you see Bran, you want to play Bran. Is a 6 really better than Bran in this game? Yeah, I'm not convinced. We freeze 2 on a 2-star board, one of them being a premium minion. Figure it out from here. Figure it out, dude. That's what I'm saying. Figure it out. Beautiful. Perfect. Honestly. About as good as that's going to get. What is this? After you fight a spellcraft minion appears in the tavern, get a copy of its spell. Alright, he's going to get triples on spellcraft spells for days. That's going to be crazy. Well. I'm kind of feeling Bran at the moment, you know? Just kind of feeling... He's gonna come through for us. We could bank gold for next turn, but we don't have a hero power next turn. We'll get 4s naturally. We did lose, right? I wish it would glow yellow in the shop. It always makes me pause. I wish the game would do more of the thinking for me. That's all I'm trying to say, you know? Rat King gonna get fisted here. I mean, I wouldn't have worded it that way, but yeah, that seems to pretty aptly describe the situation at hand. Poor Rat King over here with his normal board. Are we doing phrasing anymore? Lana! 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 Danger zone! Oh, this is why we should be doing phrasing still. Good hit. No! This is bullshit. I want to do 15 damage to him. You know you're in a good spot in the middle of the game when you're upset because you only did 12 damage to somebody on turn 5. No! Not infinite power. Do you want ants, chat? Because that's how you get ants. Exactly. See, you know what I'm talking about. You're picking up what I'm putting down. I see a Bream. I see a Bran. Bream-Bran combo. We could sell, play Mug through, and then pick up Bream. We would lose the 3/3 buff on the Bream for the future, but we would keep another minion on the board. Do we think we lose? Let's just trim down the minions on the board then. So we buff the ones that we're going to keep for slightly longer, and if that's the case, then we can have this before we play the Seer. We could even just not play the Seer, but we'll lose then. It's a lot of stats. How's the new place, Bofur? Keeping clear all of the clay soil I check or I trust? Yes. No risk of clay in suburban Ohio. I think I would consider where I am right now suburban. It's like, like 30 minutes outside of the city. There's a grocery 5 minutes away from me. It's great. I lived the last 10 years of my life with the closest grocery being 15 to 20 minutes away. It was miserable. Every time was like a huge trip to go get stuff. Right, we're not hero powering early in the turn. That's real good. That's like real good. There's no way it's the Golden Brand angle, right? There's no way that's the play. 100% chance you get it, Golden Brand. I think we'll play this one by ear. Feels like 6s are more consistent, but you know, whatever. We do kind of naturally level to 5, and people are limited to 4 stars at the moment. You just buy it and hold it and, you know, do nothing with it. Cherish it, love it, treat it like family. Looks like Daryl's popping off a little bit. That's not that big of a deal. These minions aren't huge. These minions are actually kind of tiny. Hit to the right. Actually, left was just fine. Or at least like damage-wise. 60% of the time, it works every time. Sex Panther. Alright, fuck it. Alright, chat. I hear you. We're gonna have fun today. Only fun. Alright, let's get an idea here. These aren't Bran. Decidedly not Bran. There's your 6. It's just too expensive, right? Like, you just evolve. That's 5 gold for a 6-star. Next turn, we're going to be on 5 anyway with the hero power or the anomaly. Skyfin. Be skill. I am hoping for a miracle. How'd you know? I'm going to keep Primal Fin on the board because we're going to evolve in the 6 next turn. And if we get a Murkai, we're going to like having a good battle cry on the board. Faceless. Why would I want Faceless? Why do you want Faceless, guys? 2 gold net to get a random 6-star is not a viable line. You're just lighting 5 gold on fire, or 2 gold on fire, and freezing. Good hit. I am hoping for a miracle. Discover with your power. What tavern do you think we're on? Where do you think we are? Ooh, Dr. Cox moment. Gotta pay attention to the game. We don't need it to discover with our hero power. Get wrecked, chat. Oh, we just don't need it, right? Don't you scrubs me like that? Ooh. Too hard of a moment right there to just be used on a whim. These are trash. You are not trash. I love you and cherish you. Brand for sure. Cards kind of suck, but you know, here we are. Mediocre mid-game units. We either hit gross things or we fall behind. Hero powering and holding a brand was losing a 6-star. But you know, it's still potentially a brand. It could be a golden brand pop-off turn. It's still possible. It's not like we are low health or anything. I'm not a ranter, you know? Only about game balance. If it's a game balance rant, I can do that. Poggers. We didn't have to bump. All mech board didn't even have to bump. This one. Okay, well, I mean, that's acceptable. That was the littler, the bigger of the 2 tanks. I'll take it. Pony's gonna own us. Leave us alone, Pony. God damn it. We're getting murdered by Pony. God damn it. Oh, My Little Pony has our number tonight. This game's dumb. Scaling? No. Scam? Yeah. Why scale when you cannot scale? Scamling sounds like something from StarCraft 2. Yeah. It's the unevolved version of a Firebat. Nah, it sounds like something that would be Zerg, right? Hog. We got him once. He's going scam too. Scamling. Zerg that's been on the loose. They've been loose in the worker line for 6 minutes. I'm pretty sure the game's over by that point. All it takes is about a second of in the worker line before it's done. Okay. I would like to target that Mithrax. Oh, thank you. That's how long it takes? I see. Well. Maybe a few more whelps. Well. We've gone full circle for Bran as a card. Bran as a card used to be just like entirely Murloc's Bran. We talked about the early days of Battlegrounds and like you got Murloc battle cries, you had Gentle Megasar, you had a little bit of Menagerie here and there, but it was like, it's Bran as a Murloc card. To rotating out and making Toxfin no longer in the game, and then we ended up with Sephin and Toxic being like Poisonous being a mechanic that was based around death rattles. And then Bran was no longer really necessary because you just built a board that was like 10 stats and then you played toward like Sephin and whatnot. And then we came all the way back with Battlecry Murlocs and brought them back in the game and we're like, damn, Bran's going to be awesome for Murloc boards again. We can build ridiculous stats off Battlecry Discovers and double Battlecries. To now every scam board in any Murloc game basically involves all death rattle based units and we no longer give a fuck about Bran outside of the ultra high roll. And the ultra high roll loses to basic scam. So is it really a high roll? Is it truly a high roll if it loses? Alright, game. Alright, game. Alright, game. I think we just lost a very heavily favored fight. I'm going to be upset about this one for a moment. I want to know what my odds were in that fight. That was practically every wrong hit. Hey, look, our Murkai. We missed you. Where were you? These aren't Murghul. Hey, look, Bran's back. Where Baron? Where Glowscale? Where Murghul? And half a dozen other decent cards. Okay. Not on those boards. That's where they are. They're not on those boards. Also seen Baron being a Murloc stand feels kind of weird. Yeah, for real. Bran and Baron switching places. Hey, look at him going towards stats. Wonder why he's dead. Probably not that, honestly. It probably wasn't the going for stats problem that was at fault. There's probably something else. Couldn't be the stats that were the problem here. If the next two words out of your mouth aren't see ya, then the third will be on my oh my god, my crotch, you punched me in my crotch. See, out of context, it doesn't make much sense, you know? Out of context, it didn't do much for me. On my crotch. That's what I read. Selfless is kind of cute. Taunt plus Selfless is kind of cute. Ghoul. Actively bad. T-Rash. 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 Not T-Rash. Not T-Rash at all. And now we buy Taunt. Because at this point, we now have two cards to protect, and we have replacement cards so we can put down on the board and still make a decent board. No cycle, 3/3 for Spellcraft. I guess I could cycle it. Just to get rid of it. It's not going to get a Spellcraft, but I guess it could have. Could have gotten for Divine Shield. Yeah, you're right. Should have cycled it. But what if I want it next turn? I can only use it on one of the 2 turns. Yeah, it was worthwhile. Agreed, in hindsight. Good news, we murdered this guy. He's not a problem. He has no clown car. His clowns are all just standing on the side of the road. Boo. We are almost protectable from Ghoul. We are so close to that being good. It's worth. It's worth. But we're looking at 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 potential trades from Tunnel Blaster. One, 2. Okay. Only 2 here. And he even gets the 1 and 4 to avoid the first one. Feels bad. Mm-hmm. There's a golden clown coming. I don't like the chances of this. Are there 2 things in the box? There are 2 things in the box. By the way, assume no stream this weekend on account of the game being trash. It's always TBD, you know. If I have time, I sometimes stream on the weekends. I never promise to. It's been like a month since I did, though, because, quite frankly, moving takes a lot of time. Second taunt is kind of interesting. But you got your carpets. You're done now, right? That's right. It's our boy. It's the boy, dude. It's our boy. I love this card. This card is like my favorite card in the game right now. I love you, Manaroth. I like how we pull Baron over Leroy in hand, but the ghost is trivial, so I'm not too worried about that. I want this on the board. I'd rather have this and then Baron. Because then if you have Baron on the board, you have to sell through a slot somewhere. You're a Manaroth stan? I am a Manaroth stan. I'm a man of Manaroth out here. Game state's kind of weird. There are a few anomalies where we go, yes, it's cool. Most of them are like, how much MMR will I lose if I concede? I mean, I wouldn't even go that far. I think the meta is the worst meta by a landslide in the history of BGs. Like, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. If I had to rate all metas from a 0 to 10 rating prior to this one, they would have fallen in a range of 0 to 10, like 0 being Diablo's second iteration and a few of the bad ones. And now if I had to put this one on that same chart, I have to extend the 0 so far down that everything else falls in a 7 to 10 range, and this one's a 0. This one is so far down there. The worst meta by a absolute fucking landslide. Absolutely despise this meta. Let's play around Ghoul, because he might try to do it. Manaroth. We don't have a 5th minion. A 4th minion. So like Belcher would be a good hit. Manaroth would be a good hit. So like 5s are solid. My dudes! It was really unlikely anything would live through attack where Belcher would re-poison. Unless this thing lived. thing is guaranteed to pull because it would pull before Leroy's, right? Can play around him trying to ghoul us by doing that. This is a bumper. Okay. Okay, okay, I like it. No! Leave him alone! Alright, good. Very good. Terrible. Very good. Well, folks, I think we got him. This board looks the same as the other wins. What's happening over here? Why do all the wins look the same today? Why are we up so much rating so quickly? Like, this is the part, I think it was what, Avendasora a couple seconds ago that said, oh look, Murghouls are back. Are we tryharding? Yeah, I mean, the difference between days where I'll actually play the game like normal and the days where like we play for fun. Yesterday I played 1,500 games. 1,500 in a day. 15 games and lost 700 rating in a day. I went to 6 like repeatedly. We tried to play APM Pirates and all kinds of shit. And today it's just like Murghouls on all of your boards. What's happening? Weird how all of these games... That's a second. This is bullshit. Okay, well, we tried to have fun here. We tried to do ETC and failed. All of them are good games and they all have this card. And this card.